Hello everyone, my name is Discourse and welcome to another video for the Batman miniature game. Today I will be painting the Militia Thug from the Militia box set. You can see that here, this is the Militia Invasion Force. For the Batman miniatures game, it was the 2nd edition Bat box. This is the big Thug from that box. We're going to be painting him today. Now in terms of colors, we're going to be using the Contrast Snakebite Leather. We're going to use Glyph Contrast Grey. We're going to use Nuln Oil. We're going to use Contrast Creed Camo for the actual cloth there underneath the armor. Now that's not sort of historical to the Arkham Knight franchise. If you were trying to get them more appropriate, I would go for the Blood Angels Red if you were trying to get the militia look. That'll give you a look very similar to sort of what this guy here has. But I'm going to go for a more traditional sort of green camo. Alternatively, you could always use the Glyph Hound Orange, which will give you a sort of look to how the robe of Scarecrow here is. And then finally, we're also going to be using Basilicum Grey as well to close off the base. We're just going to paint the base Basilicum Grey there, just like all the models. So that's the colors that we're going to be using. I may use more, but there should be a big list of them up on your screen. I use mostly contrasts, to be honest, just to get more value out of my time, because I find that I can get them things painted a lot faster. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Creed Camo and I'm going to shake it up very vigorously. Contrast paints, you need to give them a good shake. Then we're going to take that out. So this should be a very, very dark contrast paint. One of the things I like about contrast as well is that you don't need to water them down. With most paints you will need to, but with contrast you just want to get a thick slather of paint onto it. Now we're just going to begin to pick out the bits of cloth. So the reason I'm going for the green rather than the red is that I'm not really theming them as the militia from the Arkham Knight game. I'm just trying to make them generic sort of mercenaries and mooks because I will be using them for Bane as well as just Scarecrow. So I have a sort of vibe for all my soldiers of fortune. And that vibe is that they are mercenaries. They're military mercenaries, probably from South America. That's kind of how I like to imagine them. This is the thing about the contrast. You can see here that it's sort of drying in. It's laying heavier in some areas and lighter in others. So I should say I have undercoated this model with, I think it is gray. Gray's here. Contrasts are often hard to sort of use to sort of clean up an area, right? If I later paint this and I get a little bit of bulk gun on the green, it's going to be really hard to hide the bulk gun using the green. In fact, you often have to sort of leave the contrast paint to the one side and then just go over it with a grain and then sort of hope it blends and try and blend it in, and it's just a whole load of hassle. So you could just do what I do and just hope no one notices. I'm gonna go for the bronze on his sort of back, on this armor that he's wearing. Now with metals, I don't actually wash them down, or water them down really. I water down every single paint except for contrast and metals. Those I sort of leave. Not really liking how this looks immediately, is my first impression. But we're gonna do it. We're gonna keep going. There we go, his back is looking a little bit better. Now, I bet you that he starts looking really good with the Snakebite leather. So you can see this has been well used, the bottle is almost done. Snakebite leather looks really good on straps and on sort of satchels, of which there was a lot for the militia. If you look at, actually I'm just going to quickly show you Scarecrow. See there? There's a lot of satchels on him that the Snakebite leather was used on. So I think he looks really good. And we're gonna try and do the same, so. I love Snakebite leather. I find it works. It just looks really good on these sorts of straps that you find everywhere on so many models. But as I said, especially these militia models, like all these random little straps. And the thing about them is, what's really nice is it sort of breaks up the model. You know, that's just a little splash of color. Just really makes the sort of camo color kind of pop when you've got this sort of just brown, this leather brown. Just inserted a big straight line down it. So let's see, this skin, what are we going to do with this? I think this is going to be bulk on metal. I think this is going to be, I'm really not sure. Let's go with Leadbelcher on this bottom bit, because I really don't like the way it looks. Now the question is, am I going to do this Vulcan or Leadbelcher? Or am I going to do it bronze? I think I might do it bronze. I don't know. There's something about the way that the armor is sort of textured. Like those like pipes or something. There's something really off about it. It reminds me of something from like a video game or like Dark City or something. So let's just go for it. And this might be very foolish because I just painted something this Castellax Bronze and I didn't like it. But sure, let's do it again. Now, I think if I had like a sort of cohesive color scheme for Soldiers of Fortune, what I would do here is I'd paint this chest piece in that color because I think it's quite dramatic, but I don't. So I'm just going to paint it in Leadbelcher. What color is the arms or the hands? Actually, do you know what I could do? I'm gonna try a color. I'm gonna try a Glyph-Charger gray on the hands because I might do the legs like that. I'm actually a bit of a fool. I think I should have done the chest piece in the Glyph-Charger gray. I sort of forgot that I was using it because he looks a little bit too busy with too much metal going on, I think, at the minute. There's too much metal. But hopefully, I mean, like the Nuln Oil will also dull that down. So we're just gonna throw this on. Now, with the Glyph-Charger Grey, what I find is that I tend to need to do more than one coat for it if I've already undercoated grey. So I think I might just try the Glyph-Charger Grey, and then if I don't like it, I'll not give it a second coat, I'll just paint over it with metal. Aha! So always trying new things. Okay, so let's see. I don't know what the hell this is meant to be. So to give you an idea of how this will turn out, I'll sort of turn it like this. I think that this looked really good on this guy, on his armor. I think it looked like, it reminded me of Payday 2. The sort of body armor in Payday 2, and that was the kind of vibe I was going for with that guy. So the bomb disposal sort of suit. But I don't know about this, because I don't really know what the hell it's meant to be. So I don't have like a clear image in mind, aside from being just exhaust pipes. So now for the head. I mean, I guess I should just do it camo green. So he's coming out okay. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with this. I guess I'm going to make these bulk on metal, or Leadbelcher rather. So the question is, eyes and goggles, or eyes and gas mask. Are they going to be the same metal color? They're just going to be Leadbelcher? Yeah, I think so. I think I'm going to do those Leadbelcher, and then around the back too. I'm going to do that Leadbelcher. So let's do that now. You can see I've actually spilled over and hit the green a few times. But is my sort of opinion, and that's kind of the attitude I want to give people out there. Not necessarily those who are good painters already, but for those who are sort of intimidated by the models, because I know that Knight models in particular do very, very pretty models. And I was very intimidated by the Back to Gotham box when I first got it. But I'm just giving you the space to just let yourself go. Don't worry about it. It works out in the end. Imperfections are going to happen no matter what, no matter how good you are. You're going to mess up. So just embrace it. You know, just make sure you get paint all over the model. You don't leave any bits that are grey or they've got little holes in them. Make sure that every section of the model is painted and it'll look good. And, you know, I'm sort of at the tier of painting skill where I make the decision that I'd rather go over the line than leave a bit of the line unpainted. Right. Now, here we go. Big question. Tell me if I made a mistake in the comments. So I've got the big metal bits here, and I have the leg here. Do these go bronze, Leadbelcher, or Glyph-Charger grey? I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. But now that I'm looking at the model, I think I might actually put a bit of Leadbelcher on the little like pipe exhaust things here on his back. I don't know what they are. So what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to go for Glyph-Charger Grey for his boot. Let's go Leadbelcher. Wait, no. Let's go bronze. Let's go bronze. Leadbelcher, I think, would be... Because I've already used Leadbelcher at the sort of... I kind of want the bronze to be like the core metal color. So let's do this. So I see there's a big bronze bit there, which is kind of a bummer. See if we can clean that up. now to do, well, I don't know why I closed that, because I'm doing the hands now. And then I'm gonna do the boot, and then finally the medal, and whoops, got a big bit of brass on me there. This guy has such a weird vibe. He doesn't look anything like the way they sort of do in the game. I really haven't gone for that kind of look, have I? I'm going more for like 1930s super soldier. That's my vibe. 1930s super soldier. Right, where's the bulk on metal? Leadbelcher. I meant Leadbelcher. That's what I said. And now for the real pièce de resistance, I'm going to Nuln Oil everything. Well, not everything. I'm going to Nuln Oil specifically the metal. I know there's a lot of people out there who like to Nuln Oil everything, but I don't. I prefer just to do it with metal. So let's use one of the more terrible brushes, because we're just going to go, whoops, still a bit wet, hard at it here. Yep, see that? Filling in those gaps with the Nuln Oil. It looks really good on metal, I think, the shades. It'll add a little bit of depth and a little bit of sort of 3D to the model. Like so. Slather in it. Here. You don't want to be too... obviously it depends on the vibe that you're going for, but I'm trying to get as much depth to this as possible. You can see there, it's already starting to look a bit better. I'm one of those people though, I sort of wish that Nuln Oil would just stay the way it looks when it's wet. I think it usually looks not as good when it's dried in. I think it looks best when you've just applied it. There you go. I think these sort of sinewy kind of muscle sort of armor looks really good with the Nuln Oil, because it just sinks in into those big gaps. All right, and then for the last touch, I'm going to take some Abaddon Black, because I'm going to add some camo, just some little stripes here and there of black. And I don't need to water this down because I want it to be quite sort of striking. Just start adding it, stripes here and there, like so. Sort of like tiger camo. I don't want to be too heavy with it. Like, I don't want too much of it. I just want little bits. Stripes here and there so that it's unmistakable. There's little strokes. And this will help the depth of it, basically. What I'll do now is I'm going to paint the sort of base. So this is with Basilicum Grey, and I'm just really going mad with the Basilicum Grey. Just making sure to get into all the recesses. The trick with the basilicum is you don't want to go over the same space twice, really. You don't want to do it too many times. You want it to sort of pull into the little gaps between the cobblestones and also right in the middle of the cobblestones too. And then at the edges of each individual brick, you want it to sort of spread out a little bit. But you know, if you've missed a bit and it's looking grey or white or however it is you've undercoated it, then definitely do go over it a second time. It's just worth it to get a consistent coat. Or rather, to get a coat at all. You'll have an inconsistent coat then, but better than having no coat. And then I'm just going to leave that to dry. That'll actually take a while to dry. What I'm going to do then afterwards is I'm going to, along the sort of rim of the base here, I'm going to paint that a specific color depending on what crew he is. So because he's Soldiers of Fortune, I got to paint it this bone color. It's kind of the vibe I get from them. So I'm going to wait for this to dry in, then I'm going to paint it that. Okay, so I've left it a bit of time to dry, and now I'm going to begin basically doing the little base there. And for the Soldier of Fortune, I use Ushtabti Bone just to give them that sort of mercenarial look. And this is basically just going to be an exercise in spreading paint. So this is going to take a few coats, just because I've done this a lot of times before, and it always takes a few coats. I think Ushtabti Bone is probably one of the worst ones for it. So I paint the Batman miniatures blue, paint the Joker ones purple, etc. Ushtabti Bone is probably the worst one because it's so light, right? It's very similar to sort of a white. This is him then. This is the Militia Brute there. I think he's turned out pretty well, actually. I think the green actually looks pretty good. He definitely has more of a sort of like soldier, military sort of vibe to him, in my opinion, than with the red. So I quite like it. I think he looks pretty good. Especially, I think the Nuln Oil at the end sort of really made the kind of bronze metal pop. I can't really touch him hold him by the base yet, unfortunately, because of the colors, but there you can go. So I think he looks like a pretty cool Batman villain. So as I said, like, I am Pete Campbell when it comes to painting. I'm very mediocre at this. So if I can achieve this with contrast paints and without sort of coloring in even in the right lines, think about how much you can accomplish by just taking a bit of paint and a paintbrush. So that was the Militia Brute from the Militia box set painted. I hope you enjoyed this sort of painting tutorial, as it was, because I had a lot of fun making it. Basically I just painted and told you what I was doing. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you did enjoy it, then please do like the video and subscribe to the channel for more Batman miniature game content. Just trying something new out here today. Basically, just see if this is any good. And I sure hope the lighting was good. Because if it was bad, then it's probably not been put up on YouTube. So I'll see you in the next video, everyone. Thanks for joining me. And if you have any questions or anything like that about the paints or anything, just hit me up in the comment section below. I will always answer, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.